What's going on, guys? Welcome to Jay West Reviews. I'm Jay West, your host, and we're going over the new He-Man, the 40th anniversary He-Man. So this time is going to be a little bit different. This is the MASTERVERSE He-Man, but 40th anniversary. This is something special right here. Now we've already seen this He-Man somewhat in the 40th anniversary pack with the Skeletor. The San Diego Comic-Con version, but this one is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to jump into that. We're going to take a look at, we're going to go take a look at the past. We're going to take a look at some Masters of the Universe classics, take a look at some newer stuff that's coming out, and we're going to compare everything together. So let's take a look, guys. First, let's start off, oh no, can't have He-Man falling like that. Can't have, He-Man, you're powerful. You can't be falling. All right, so we're going to take a look at the packaging for this guy. You got He-Man in the pack, looking dope. It's reminiscent of the old packaging from the old school vintage figures. So it's different. It doesn't have like the artwork on the side, like the standard Masterverse packaging has. It's like old school, which I really dig. Let's take a look at the side here. You got the red rocks, and you got whatever planet that is. I have no idea. But you do still have that dope artwork on the back. He-Man and Battle Cat. We should get a 40th anniversary Battle Cat. Like, really? Cool Castle Grayskull in the back. It looks awesome. It looks really awesome. Where's his sword, though? He's got the axe, no sword in his back. That's kind of messed up. Got Skeletor hiding in the corner down here. Because he's afraid. Because He-Man, Battle Cat, coming after him. So we're going to take a look at this guy. Now, since I have two, I had to do this review like multiple times because the first time, like half the video was cut off. Second time, just, I don't even know what happened to that video. So, third time's a charm, baby. So here we have He-Man outside of the package. Let me start off by just going over the proportions, because the proportions are different now. You got new boots. I believe it's like the same like legs, new loincloth, new like ab area, new chest area. He's much wider. Same arms, I believe. This is like a molded plastic. This kind of looks like it's painted. So yeah, he's a lot beefier than your regular Masterverse Netflix He-Man. So, taking a look at the articulation here. Always on point. You got the head on a ball joint. Goes left, right, up, down. You got ball joints at the shoulders. Look at that. Look at that. Look how high that goes. All right. Then you got the swivels at the bicep. You got the doubles at the elbow. And then you got the hinge and swivel at the wrist. Bracers come off. So that's cool on both sides. You got the ball joint at the chest right here. You got swivels at the waist. You got the ball joint at the thighs. You got the thigh cut. You got doubles at the knees. You got boot cuts. And you got the ankle. You got the pivot or the rocker at the ankle. Awesome articulation. This is probably going to be like the best He-Man you're ever going to buy. This is probably going to be the best one you're ever going to buy. I will stand by that to the end of time, because you had your old school Masters of the Universe classics He-Man, right? I love this line. Don't get me wrong, I love this line. And it was something, it was for its time, it was something special, man. It really was. Like, the depth of the roster of that line, they had at least to have like 200 figures in that line or more. I don't even know. I can't even count off the top of my head how many figures they had in that line. It was really a great time to be a He-Man fan. But just the articulation is what kills me on this line. The ankles were always a problem. They were always like wonky and loose. So it's hard to get them to stand up. Of course, the sculpt was always fantastic. And, they didn't want to break up the articulation and make the sculpt kind of ugly. So they didn't have like the thigh cut. They didn't have doubles at the knees. They did have a boot cut. Had ankle hinges. I don't believe they rocked a little bit when they weren't like super loose. But they had this ugly like ab crunch. I hate the ab crunch. I think the ab crunch, I'm glad it's gone, because I prefer this where you have the ball joint at the torso. No doubles at the elbow. They did have the bicep swivel, and they had this kind of ball joint. It's kind of similar, yeah. It was much more. It's much more hidden on the newer figures, and then pinless joints, of course. And then you got the pins here. So you could definitely tell it was from a different era of He-Man figures. But the sculpt is always on point. The sculpt of the sword and the details and the colors and the shading, they were on point. It was really a special line, man. But I think we're going to get, if they mix the two together, it would have been perfect. Like the perfect line. The articulation of this guy with the sculpt and details of this guy. This was Super 7's like finest work, man. It really was. Or the Four Horsemen, I should say, not Super 7. Well, Super 7 did take over eventually, but it was more the Four Horsemen who really, like, made this line what it was. So, getting that out the way, you got the colors and the details on this guy. You got the shading and the loincloth. I do wish the belt was a little bit shiny, kind of like this. I kind of wish it was a painted belt instead of just a... It looks too flat and dull to me. And while this one looks like shiny, it was painted. I believe on the San Diego Comic-Con version, it is a die-cast part here. The boots are flocked on that one. So the top of the boots are flocked and the loincloth is flocked. And then they have a nice, like, metallic silver chest harness. So it's a really nice look. It's a really nice piece. But I prefer old school gray. Old school gray, man. That's where it's at. So let's take a look at He-Man. You already know what accessories He-Man comes with, because it's standard with almost every He-Man that he's got to come. Well, the original He-Man. He's got to come with the shield. Not the shield. He's got to come with the axe. He-Man's got to come with the axe. So you got the nice details on the axe here. There's a little battle damage on there. I love that. And then you got like the wraps at the hilt here. I do wish it was, had a little bit more color to it. Like maybe throw in some more color details. Kind of like, let me see. I don't have his axe here. But maybe like how they did it in Classics. How it was like, instead of it just being one flat gray color, they added some silver details here to highlight it out. I wish they kind of did that with this. And then you got the standard Sword of Power, which I wish they did the same thing. It's just a flat gray. There's no, color details in there. So I wish they kind of, brighten that up a little bit. It would look nice with some, silver details. I believe the San Diego Comic-Con version has a different handle. It's like flat. There's no wraps on it. It's just like a flat, gray color. Die-cast weapons, too. They have die-cast weapons in that pack. And then the shield here. Got the reds. See, like this. Yeah, you got the red on the shield here, and then you got the that flat gray. It looks better because there's some color details in there. And then you got the standard thing here where he's got the grip here, and then you put his little arm in there. What I like to do is I like to put the hand on first, and then, oh wait, I did that wrong. I like to put the shield on him like that, and it makes it much easier to do instead of trying to slide the shield on his arm with his hand already on there. So he's got a shield on, and then you put the sword either in the back or you put it in his hand, and it grips really well too. Like there's no looseness in the grip, so he holds that really well. Mine came a little warped, so that kind of sucks. And then you can just slide it in the back here. Chest harness, it's a little bit different than what I'm used to. It used to come down straight and then have the bar across the back, and then you had the tabs that you would, slide it, like the tabs and from the bottom to the top, I believe it was. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've seen one of the old school ones. Let me see if it's the same on this one. Yeah, it was like this, but it was like tabs, old school tabs, and it works, but it comes apart a lot. Like, I could just touch it like for a second and the thing just pops off. So I'm not really crazy about how they did this because it comes off way too easy. Whereas classics, you really had to put in some work to get this off. So it fit in there nice and snug. So that's kind of my only gripe about this, is just like, I wish the belt was a little bit shinier, more details on the weapons, and then like color details, and then the back harness, like I wish it like held together better, I would say, like it just doesn't want to stay sometimes. All right, so we'll put his axe in his hand. And there we have He-Man. He looks good, man. He looks really good. Compare him to that old school, like, now this is actually one of the commemorative series. It's not vintage, but yeah, trying to get a vintage He-Man now, I don't know how much that would go for. So you can tell where the inspiration came from. It looks great. So we're going to stand him next to Classics He-Man, if I can get him to stand. So this is like my Battle Cat He-Man. I always have him riding on Battle Cat, and then I have my other one in my display. So we're going to stand him next to him. All right, stand up, dude. You all right, you all right. And then we got the Masterverse He-Man. So this is from the Netflix series. Like, he looks, he looks like He-Man. He looks cool, But this is my He-Man right here. With the red furry belt for that loincloth and the red boots and the gray vest. That's my He-Man. Netflix He-Man was okay. I like it for what it is, but it's, I have my gripes about that series. And then we're going to put up the new guy. Let me put his sword in his hand. Also, Netflix He-Man. So a review of him will be coming up soon. Man, that's a real different look. That's a real different look. I actually dig it, though. Like, it kind of gives me New Adventure vibes a little bit, but better than New Adventures. New Adventures outfit was kind of, it was all right. Like, for a He-Man that wears clothes, it actually looks pretty good. Can't lie. So there you have it. You got the 40th anniversary He-Man. And his counterparts got the classics, got Netflix and Netflix. So that's pretty much it for this review, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. And I'm going to catch you guys on the west side. Peace.